Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Okengo Matiang'i was at Royal Media Services where he was interviewed, and the way he conducted himself during the interview, one could tell that this is a well-composed, very intelligent, sober individual who is really indeed projected as the Kenya's next president. One could tell the handlers of Fred Okengo Matiang'i are really doing a fantastic job. The guy was well composed, the guy was sober, the guy he tackled every question in a very well composed manner, a very intelligent manner, and you can tell that the guy is ready for 2027. He tackled various questions and he gave his views to this country. In fact, he started by saying that this nation or this country does not need a all-knowing savior. It only needs a honest, intelligent, and a hard-working individual who will mobilize and bring hope and trust to Kenyans so that they can build this country. He said very well. He tackled so many questions. Some of them you have been hearing them, including Rualaka land saga, including the role of police in 2017 demonstration, particularly in NASA, and the question was asked, the role of police. You remember Fred Okengo Matiang'i giving orders in 2017, banning demonstration, especially when Raila was coming back from outside the country, and they said that anyone who is going to be protesting or anyone who is going to be found demonstrating, he will face a hard side of the law. So he was asked why he gave those orders to the police, and indeed several people died in that demonstration. And they said that based on the advisory from NIS, the government was informed about the intruders, the criminals, the criminal gangs, including Al-Shabaab, to infiltrate the protest or the demonstration and cause harms to people. So he was saying he gave that order so that to save life and the properties from intruders, from infiltrators into this the demonstration. So he answered that question, I think, very soberly and very clearly and precisely. And when he was asked why, when he's out, is for maandamano, and when he was inside, he was against it. He said there is a very big difference between this demonstration or a protest and the then protest. And I tend to agree. And I tend to agree, indeed, there's a difference. He said, like the last time, the interest of the demonstrations were very different. By then, it was mainly sponsored by the political leaders, by politicians who were agitated, whose quest was to take power. In fact, it was out of the loss of election, and they were protesting something which was contested in the court, and the court declared, it is a declaration. So it was a matter which was closed, and they had no reason to demonstrate. But this one is purely sponsored by Gen Zs, the children who are agitated, frustrated by how the country is being run. So the two protests are very different. I tend to agree to an extent. So that one, he tackled that question very well, very soberly, very well composed, and precisely to our understanding. He said that he's ready for presidency. When he was asked whether he's going to run for presidency in 2027, he said, yes, I'm ready. And he gave his reason. The country is not heading in the right direction. So it needs somebody who is very honest, very hardworking, to mobilize everybody so that it can bring trust to its citizens and the country to rise again. The country, he felt that the nation, the direction at which this country is moving is not good at all, and it needs somebody who can bring trust, who can fix things, and that person is Fred Matiang'i. And Fred Matiang'i is ready for that contest, is very ready for that contribution. 2027 is very far away. What they are doing now is consultation, is consulting with different parties. In fact, more than 9 parties have approached Fred Okengo Matiang'i ready to work with him. So he's not confined to one political party, as it has been said. Remember, Fred Okengo Matiang'i is linked to UPA. He claimed, he ravished that. He said he don't belong to that party. He was saying it has been projected. He is proposed to run for 2027 using Jubilee Party. He said that is good. Other parties, through their secretary generals, have approached him. So Jubilee is among them. Very sober. When he was asked a question whether is Uhuru Kenyatta's project, he denied. And in fact, he posed a question. Recently, he has resigned from his position at the World Bank. So he said, so because I was working in the World Bank, am I the World Bank project? Why have you not asked whether I'm the World Bank project? So he rubbished the claims that is Uhuru Kenyatta's project. Because he served under Uhuru Kenyatta as the cabinet secretary in various dockets, it doesn't mean that it's Uhuru Kenyatta's project. So by distancing himself from a project tag, that was very good, well answered question. Because you know how Kenyans associate somebody who is tagged to be a project of somebody, we don't really take that person seriously. So disassociating himself with that project tag, it is that question was well answered. That question was well informed. Now we know that Fred Okengo Matiang'i is in his own, is in talk, is in discussion with other parties, including Jubilee, including DCP, including Wiper, including UPA. So, well, it was well tackled. That question was well tackled. So, he was asked this famous question about Rualaka land saga, about River Yala, the famous river, the famous River Yala. So this is how he answered this question. The files are there. He didn't go with the file. He's not above the law. Is ready for investigation, is ready for an open inquiry about the same, and is ready to respond to the inquiries and say the things he knows in black and white. In other case, Fred Okengo Matiang'i is trying to save his name. That look, I'm not the one who did this. This is what happened, and these are the masterminds of this. So Fred Okengo Matiang'i is ready. By answering, he was so confident, and probably that is why we haven't heard of anything like code summoning and anything of that sort. Probably the top leadership, the top leadership of this nation currently knows exactly what happens, and that is why Fred Okengo Matiang'i is so confident that is ready for public inquiry. So again, it was a tick. He answered the question very well. Now we know that probably he did participate in this so-called River Yala murder and Rualaka land scandal. He was wondering why is every time when he want to present himself to the public service, like for example, is projected to be the 2027 presidential candidate, is wondering why the opponents could wait so that to bring that matter when he's presenting himself for an important task ahead of him, and that is 2027. So he tackled that question so with a lot of intelligence, and I have utmost respect for Fred Okengo Matiang'i over the way he tackled that particular question. And answered another question about the unity with the opposition. Okay, first of all, he said he's working with opposition, including Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, and other of that sort, that is working so closely with the opposition. He was asking, in the recent 2 to 3 meetings, he has been absent. Yeah, it's clear he was not in Narok. in Mombasa. He wasn't there with the opposition. So he was asking, are you working on your own or you are working with the opposition, as you claim? Fred Okengo said, he might not be physically present in every meeting, but he has representatives. He has people who represent him, and it's very clear. You have been seeing somebody like Richard Umumaima Onyonga, the senator of Kisii County, in almost every gathering or every meeting where Fred Okengo Matiang'i is absent with opposition. You have been seeing it, and it's very true. So that question he answered so well. It was well tackled. Kudos. The role of police in demonstration. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i said, the police are not trained to kill. The police is trained to actually protect us and the property, to protect individuals and the properties. Is not trained to kill. So anything, any killing, there's a probability that the cabinet secretary for interior is not directly linked to any killings by individual police. In fact, the police are under the inspector general. And he answered this question. He was asked recently, the cabinet secretary for interior gave an order of shoot to kill. So Fred Okengo Matiang'i was asked, what is your take on this? Fred Okengo Matiang'i answered very well, and he said that if he was a minister for interior or under his leadership as a minister or a cabinet secretary for interior, he couldn't give such an order. But he said he didn't want to talk more about the same, based on the fact that he don't have enough grounds on what all facts that made the gentleman or that guy Murkomen to give such an order or to give such orders. So in other words, he was suggesting, hello, in other words, he was suggesting that Murkomen, that was low of you. He shouldn't have given that orders. About the funding, the campaigns, especially presidential campaigns, are very so expensive one. So about funding, he was asked how is he ready about financing his campaign. Fred Okengo Matiang'i answered so well. He said, don't have money to buy votes. He don't have money to bribe voters. So he said, but to run campaign, it needs cash. It needs money. So he said, avail the funds through donation and well wishes to his quest. So he said he's not that rich. He will, but the campaigns will be funded by well wishes and through donations. When he was asked about his wealth, he said he didn't want to answer that question because it's not a public servant. He will give those, but he said he will give those details when the right time comes. And very soon he's going to declare his financial worth, his net worth. But we know Fred Okengo Matiang'i is not a thief. Fred Okengo Matiang'i did not participate in any corruption, apart from these scandals here, which he ravished. Fred Okengo Matiang'i is not that wealthy, but through friends, probably is going to receive enough funding. And that's why he's in consultations with other leaders, like the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, who is projected to be, in fact, is a project, but is a project to be sincere of Uhuru Kenyatta, but it's only that he don't want to associate himself with that project tag. So Rigiji said that Fred Okengo Matiang'i, from your political party, I don't want you to use Mount Kenya projects. We don't want to have competing parties in the mountain. The mountain will be solely under one political party. So for us to take you serious, go and come with your own party. Let the party be accepted at Kisii, solidly from Kisii, your own region, and then we will take that seriously. So, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, what is your take on this? So, Matiang'i answered precisely and said this. The views, those were personal views. Everybody has got his own views on how he perceives things. So Rigathi Gachagua could be airing his own views, but we are going to have a discussion the same. We agree and disagree on the same, so that we can know how we are going to move forward. If we find that his thoughts or views are valid, then we shall reconsider what we are going to do next. So if we find that the views need some amendments and edit, then we are going to do something. So he said that everybody has got his own views on how he perceives things. So there is a reason why he was saying so. And he said that he's ready to engage Bwana Rigathi Gachagua so that they could have some discussions over the same, and they agree on how they are going to move forward. That one he answered so well. As I wind up, he answered another question on the raid to his house, which you all knew. You all saw it was in your televisions. So he said, and the government at the time said that they didn't raid his house. The guy was panicking. The guy gave a false information. But he said the raid was true, and he don't want to remember what happened because it pains him. Why the government could subject him to that shame, that frustration, that humiliation. He was saying that is something he want to forget because what he went through is a lot of humiliation because of the transition from the previous government to this government, and he was really frustrated on what happened, and he didn't want to talk in much details, but he mentioned the name of one Kithure Kindiki, who was then the cabinet secretary for interior. He said that this guy is a gentleman. He's the one who, if I may interpret what he said, is the one who saved me. Is he looked among the government individuals, this guy looked sober. Is the only guy who reasoned with me and said, "Yo, why are we frustrating this gentleman? He has done nothing. Let him go. Let him be." So he praised Kithure Kindiki. I don't know how the government is going to take that. Maybe we are going to see how things are going to unfold, and that is how he tackled the question. So, in summary form, Fred Okengo Matiang'i was so composed, he was direct to the point, and he answered every question intelligently, soberly, and in a manner that each and every Kenyans who were stuck on their television, on their phones, or on their screens could understand. Every question he was asked was well answered. So, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, I can say that I'm impressed in the way he was composed in the whole interview. In fact, responding to each and every question he was asked. Every question he was asked was so crucial, and the way he answered was so satisfactory. So, I can say that Okengo Matiang'i is so ready for 2027 presidential polls, and he could be the next president of Kenya. I mean, if we are serious, what we need is indeed change. Then the guy is Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Matiang'i is so different. We can do something. The change we need lies within our reach. We need to do something. So I don't know what you think. I've given my views. I don't know how about you. What do you think about Fred Matiang'i's All Citizen TV interview yesterday? Go ahead and drop your comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Hesie Born. Turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every time we post a new video. Thank you. This is my new channel. Kindly, the support I need is one, like this video, subscribe down here, turn on the notification bell, and of course, drop your comment in the comment section and you could share. Thank you. See you in the next video.